Set?
I will. But first, you have to tell me your full name.
I have to, or
you get to.
I get to tell you.
You get to.
I'm Jordan Reich. Am I on the clock right now?
No.
Okay.
And how old are you?
I'm 29 years old.
Okay. So the deal, as I've explained to you, I'm gonna give you 10 minutes. You can say your life story, whatever's on your heart, whatever topic comes up. After 10 minutes, I'll kind of like flag you, and then I'll ask you 5 questions,
Okay.
and we'll be done.
I can do that.
Okay.
All right.
I have one question before I start.
That was not in the rules.
It is now.
Okay.
How are you feeling right now?
I'm coming off of one of the best weekends of my life, and on day 4 of a 10-day vacation, so about as good as I could feel ever.
Good. Okay. All right. You can start whenever you like.
And we will start. Okay, so I am Jordan, and I'm lucky enough to be Maggie's cousin. 29 years old, grew up in St. Louis, and moved to New York City when I was 26, going on 27, and have been there for almost 2 years now. The subjects of my talk is going to be friends and family, as well as a couple life lessons that, in my humble opinion, I've picked up in 29 years. I'm sure there's more life lessons that will be learned. Let's see. So a little bit of background about me. Grew up in St. Louis with the family that I've had, which, again, that's one of my themes, and when I think back, couldn't be happier about who I got to grow up with. And am I supposed to talk to you or the camera or both?
To me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think you know what that means to us. Growing up with, 8 cousins? Or there's 7, not including yourself. Either way, all within a year or 2 of each other is an experience that I don't think most families get to have. So we have the biggest variety just on one side of my family of people and experiences, and what's truly amazing is, of course, everyone's going to have hardships and troubles through life, but when you look at us as a group of cousins, we're all doing amazing, beautiful things in impacting people in positive ways. So I just feel really lucky to have been brought up in a family that has fostered that out of us. We have teachers, we have doctors, we have nurses, we have people starting their own businesses, starting families, amazing parents, all within a group of 8 people. And when I think back on that, it's really important and quite amazing. So that's the family, St. Louis family side of things, and families come in all shapes and sizes, and I guess I'm here to say is make what you can out of what you've got, because it's one of the more important things in your life, and that doesn't mean that it has to be picture perfect or some sort of mold, but it's an important thing to have, and so if you can make whatever you do have important to you, that's pretty key in life. The other thing I was going to talk about was friends, because I'm coming off of one of my good high school friends' bachelor party in Las Vegas. And it was 12 of some of my best friends in the world, and we haven't seen each other. Some of us have seen each other more than others, but I'm still riding this feeling from the weekend of trying to be mindful of the situation you're in. And throughout the weekend, we would just randomly hug each other and appreciate being with each other, whether we were in Las Vegas, whether we were anywhere in the world. If that group of people was together like that, the recognition and the honoring of it was absolutely incredible and beautiful. Can I have a time check just so I know how I'm doing?
You're at 3:48. Plenty of time.
Perfect. So that covers friends and family. Friends and family. Cheers. Both which throughout history have been important things, and you kind of know that they're important, but it takes almost to my age, at least for me, to really understand how important those are. Because you have to say, oh, friends and family are important when you grow up. And I don't think that that really sinks in until certain things happen in your life, and those have happened in my life, and couldn't be more grateful. So thank you, Maggie, for being part of that. Couple of life lessons that I've learned. So I'm a dentist, which takes a lot of schooling. And when I think about my academic life, I did a lot of learning in order to get a letter grade. And that's good. It's pressure from parents. It's pressure from society. And it's to me, looking back, a bit of an artificial score. Because I was good at taking tests, and I could not study ever and still get really good grades on tests. But it doesn't mean that I was getting the most out of what I was doing or learning how you should and have the opportunity to when you grow up. So I want to make a point to say, if you're listening to this and are still in school, learn to learn, because it's really cool what you can learn. And you have, in high school, it's free if you go to a public school. And to squander that opportunity doesn't mean you have to be the best student in the world, but you have to appreciate every day the chance to learn some stuff. That mentality stuck with me through the first year of dental school, when I had my first fail. Like, I never failed in anything in life, and I had the most absurd, irrational, ugly freak out by myself in my car on the way home. I pulled over to the side of the road, I'll never forget it, and I started punching my steering wheel and screaming because I had failed something that probably 30% of my class had failed. And when I look back on that, I'm embarrassed, but at the same time, I just realized that was a function of how I thought about grades. So I took it as a chance to realize, like, just because you failed something doesn't mean it's the end of the world. It's a chance to then improve yourself. And the world didn't end because I failed. My world at the time had ended, but it changed my mentality. And for the next 2 years of dental school, the grade didn't matter. I still got good grades, but I wasn't doing it for the grade. I was doing it for growth. So I would... Let's hope that's nothing serious, because poor Maggie might have to run into work right now. Long story short, I'm probably rambling because it's 10 minutes of filling up your own time, but appreciate education, not for any sort of status symbol or to brag to somebody that you got a good grade or anything, but for self-growth, because there's a wealth of knowledge out there, and it's easily graspable if you take advantage of it. So then going into the last life lesson, how much time do I have?
You're 8 minutes.
Okay, so for 2 minutes. So I moved to New York in the end of the summer when I was 26 years old. And it was after I finished a residency at the hospital that my amazing cousin gets to work at now, which is sort of makes me really happy that that hospital still has a Jasper/Reich in there, because we're good at medicine and we're good at making people feel good, and it's important for us to be there. So that makes me excited. At the end of my residency, I had two options. One was to stay in residency and in St. Louis with my friends and family. The other was my lifelong dream of moving to New York. And if you know me I've been a New York Giants fan my entire life, and I've always wanted to be there. I got a job in New York, which is hard enough to do, but when the time came to move, I literally had what I can only describe as a paralytic fear of the move that took over my life. I was unable to perform procedures that I've been performing since second year of dental school without asking somebody, am I doing it right? Second guessing every decision I made, and all I could look forward to was going home to my room, shutting the door, and petting my cat. For 2.5 months, it was like that. The only reason I got to New York was because, well, it was not the only reason, but support from friends and family, which I talked about. And in specific, I want to give a shout out to my sister, who recognized it, talked me through it, and literally packed my entire life into a bag. And I get a little emotional because she got me out the door and knew that I could do it. And I'm now on the other side of it. New York has been the greatest experience of my life. And I still have all of my friends that I was supposedly leaving, who I just saw this past weekend, and nothing has changed. They're still so proud of me. They're still the same people. And that move has just been the greatest opportunity. So if you have something that you know you want to do not let fear get in your way, because the worst thing that happens is you fail, which I learned a while ago isn't the worst thing in the world. So those are my 10 minutes.
Perfect.
What am I at?
You're perfect. 10:40, which
Woo!
is good.
It's
yes,
pretty good.
You did good.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so I have 5 questions.
Okay.
And you have to just answer each question in 1 sentence.
Okay.
Okay. Question number 1. Are you happy?
I can maybe for one of the first times in my life say 100% yes.
Love that. What is your biggest fear?
Not having enough money, which I know is not the most genuine of answer. Well, it's a genuine answer, but maybe not the best answer. But not having enough money to do the things I want to do in life and handle all of my debt responsibilities.
What brings you the most joy in the whole world?
Time with friends and family.
And how do you feel at this moment?
Honest, vulnerable, and grateful.
And can I give you a hug?
Please. Can we get it on camera?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Oh, I love you.
I love you so much.
Yay! Yay, yay, yay. And that was it?
That was it. Painless.